Hello student, my name is Nimesh Prabhakar. I am Assistant Professor at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Instrumentation and Control Department. Welcome to Process Control lecture series. In this lecture, we discuss about the introduction of process control. So, first of all question occur in our mind, what is process control? So, simple definition of this: process control is an engineering discipline that deals with architectures, mechanisms and algorithms for maintaining the output of specific process within desired range. So, this is a process control. That means process control is one engineering discipline that maintain the output of specific process within desired range. So, to maintain our output, we need process control. Now, in chemical plant, there are number of units such as heat exchanger, boiler, reactor, pump, compressor and also distillation column. There are a number of units in such chemical plant. So, to make one chemical plant, we need to assemble this few of this unit. That means to construct a chemical plant, we need to assemble few of this unit. So, we have to make one plant. So, we select a few of this unit and then we make one plant. Now, process control is help to control this plant. That means to control this different unit. Now, what is the objective of chemical plant? Or in other words, any plant is what is the objective? So, the main objective or the overall objective is to convert certain raw material into desired product using available source of energy in the most economic way. That means the objective is what? To get output by giving input, and the output quality is also good. So, now to understand this, we take one example. Suppose this is a one plant. In this plant, we give input. So, input is what? Input is raw material. So, we give in the plant input as a raw material, and as a output we get one product. So here the objective of this plant is what? To make the product by applying different process. Like we take one example. In this plant we give input. Suppose this is a plant of manufacturing of water bottle. So in the input we give raw material. So for the manufacturing of the water bottle, we give different chemical as a raw material in the input. So in this raw material in the plant we apply different process, like we increase the temperature and also we decrease temperature, then heating, cooling, all this process apply, and last one we get as a output one water bottle. So this is the main objective of any plant. As a we give input as a raw material and we get output as a product. Now, to meet this objective, we need to meet some requirement. What? To meet this objective, we need to meet some requirement. That means to achieve this objective. What objective? To get product in desired way. So for that we need to meet some requirement. So which are these requirement? So first one requirement is safety. Second one is production specification. Third one is environmental regulation. Fourth one is operational constraint. And fifth one is economics. So to meet our objective or any plant's objective, we need to meet these 5 requirements. So first of all we understand all these requirements one by one. So first requirement is safety. So safety of personal and equipment is of foremost concern. In any plant like chemical plant or also in any plant, the person's safety is one and foremost concern, and also the equipment safety is foremost concern. And also operating temperature, pressure, flow rate, etc. should not be allowed to exceed allowable limit. That means different variable like in that plant, temperature, pressure, flow rate, we have set one limit. So that should not be allowed to exceed that limit. Now to understand this, we take one example. Suppose we have one reactor and this reactor have maximum pressure limit is 100 psig. That means this reactor maximum pressure handling capacity is 100 psig. Then we should have a control system that will maintain the pressure below 100 psig value. So this is a first requirement, safety. Now second one requirement is production specification. A plant should produce the desired quantity without compromising with the desired quality. That means a plant should produce number of quantity without, that means not compromising with the quality of the product. This is the production specification. Suppose we have one plant that make a cooker. So for this the requirement or the specification is what? The production, the quality of product is good. That means a plant should produce the desired quantity, that means number of pressure cooker, without compromising with the desired quality of the cooker. So this is a second one requirement. Now third one requirement is environmental regulation. That means the output gas in the environment. So the plant influent in the form of like solid, liquid or gas should not exceed the limit decided by federal and state law. All the state and different country define some limit for the influence of the plant. So the plant should not exceed that limit. That means influence should not cause air, water or soil pollution. Now to understand this, we take one example like the amount of SO2, sulfur dioxide, that a plant inject to the atmosphere should not exceed the limit decided by the country or the federal law. Okay, then other one example also we can understand, the quality of water returned to a river or lake should not exceed the limit decided by the federal or state law. So this is the third one, environmental regulation. Fourth one requirement is operational constraint. That means the various type of equipment used in chemical plant have constraint inherent to their operation. Such constraint should be satisfied throughout the operation of plant. Now, to understand this, suppose we have one tank, water tank. So, for this tank, the constraint is the tank should not overflow or overflowing or the go dry. That means the water in the tank should not overflow or should not tank dry. Now we take second one example. This is the catalytic reactor. The temperature of a catalytic reactor should not exceed an upper limit, because if the temperature is higher than the upper limit, the catalytic may be destroyed. So this is the operational constraint. And the last one is economics. That means what? A plant must operate at the optimum level, which means the minimum operating cost and maximum profit. So this is the goal of any owner of the plant: minimum operating cost and maximum profit. It should be economical in utilization of material, manpower, energy and capital. So this is the economics requirement. Okay. Now we see the basic block diagram of process control system. See, this is a simple diagram of any process. So here the block diagram. First one is the desired level indicate. Here the controller. This is our plant, and this is a feedback element to control our output. So plant produce some output that do not match with our desired value. So at that time it match with the feedback element with our desired value. So this, by feedback element we can match the output with our desired value, and this output difference is known as the error signal. Then error signal goes to the controller, and the controller takes the action, and by using the actuating signal, that means by controller give the signal to the actuator, and actuator are used to control the plant. Now to understand this block diagram, we take one example of the reactor. Suppose we have one reactor, and in this reactor we have consider one variable is the pressure, and we have to control the variation of this pressure, and our desired value of pressure is 100 psi. That means throughout the process in the plant must be maintain this value of the pressure. Suppose due to some variation or some disturbance, here we get the output pressure is the 80 psi. So this 80 psi, here the feedback element, and then is matched with the error detector or summing point. So here the difference is the 100 minus 80. So this difference is that means here the 20 psi. That means in the all time error signal is 0. That is our ideal condition, but in the practical that is not possible. Because of some variation here, the variation is produced. So this is a 20 psi, this is a pressure difference. So this goes error signal in the controller, and now controller take controlling action. That means it try to increase the pressure inside this plant by using some controlling signal, and now we get at the output 100 psi signal. That means 100 psi pressure level. So by this is a simple arrangement of the block diagram. So now to understand better, we take another example. Like this is a one liquid level system. In this system, here the input valve, this is an inlet valve, and inlet valve controlled by using one controller. And here this valve is a pneumatic valve, and here the inside is the flow rate come from this side, and this is the outlet flow rate, and this is a float. This float is used as a sensor because by using this float, controller know the position of liquid, that means the height of liquid inside this tank. So we consider here the height. Here we get the desired height. To get desired height or to control this height, the controller use the controlling signal. That means if the level of the water is high, that means in that situation, that means controller start the output valve and reduce the height. And if the water inside this tank is reduced, that means the level of water is reduced, then controller start this pneumatic inlet valve and is try to maintain the height of liquid inside this tank. So controller are used to maintain the height of liquid inside this tank. So by block diagram we can represent this system as, here desired level we fix the height of the liquid inside this tank, and this is our controller, and controller control by using the pneumatic valve. So controller signal goes to the pneumatic valve and the controller tank. This is our plant, and this is a float. It is used as a feedback element, or it's also called a sensor. So when the tank level, in the tank water level is not matched with our desired level, that means inside this tank water level is reduced or increased, then that match by using the float we can match with the desired value, and then error signal is generated, and that error signal, by using that error signal, controller use the controlling action and to reduce or increase the flow of the inlet. If the water level is too much low inside this tank, then it fully open this pneumatic valve, and if the water level is too high, then it close this valve. So water level inside this tank is maintained. So this is a simple arrangement of the process control block diagram.